Okay, in this question here, we just have to increase 36,000 by 7%. Now, there's two different ways of doing it. So the first method, probably the simplest method, it's a little bit longer, is to find 7% and then add it onto the 36,000. So let's do that first. So I want to find 7% of £36,000. Note we do the pound symbol at the front in English and it'll be the end of the number in French. Okay, so I can do that as a grid. Let's do a little grid. And I've got 7%, which is what I'm trying to find, so I'm going to call that A. My 100% is the amount I'm finding of, so that's 36,000. So A is equal to, multiply the two diagonals, 7 multiplied by 36,000, divided by the 100. And that means that A is equal to 2,520, and that is pounds. But that's not the answer to the question, because the question asks you for to increase by 7%. So my answer, my final answer, or final amount, I will call it here, is equal to the 36,000 plus the increase of 2,520, and that gives me 38,520 pounds. That method works, that method's good, nothing wrong with that method at all. So another way of looking at that question is to say, okay, I'm going to increase by 7%. So let's break that down. What I've got, I had 100% to start with, and I increase. Increase is adding, so I added 7%. What percentage have I got at the end? Well, that's 107% of what I began with. So if that's the case, I could just work out 107% of my 36,000, and that will take me straight to the answer. Let's see if it works using the fourth proportional table. So this time I'm not trying to find 7%, I'm trying to find 107%. So 107%, and I'm going to call that A. And I know my 100%, that hasn't changed, that 100% is my £36,000. So my A is equal to my two diagonals multiplied together, so 107 multiplied by 36,000 divided by 100, and if I work that through on a calculator, it doesn't take me to 2,520, it takes me straight to the answer of 38,520. So it's a quicker method, but there's nothing wrong with the first method. You can use either one that you choose. Okay, the first method here, I worked out 7% and I added it on because it's an increase. The second method, I added the 7% on first to show my increase, and then I worked that through as my percentage. Question 5 is a reduction question. So I want to reduce an amount of money by 30%. Again, there's two different ways of doing it. I could work out 30% of 2575 and subtract it from 2575 to give me the final answer. Or I could try and work out what percentage do I have at the end and just calculate that percentage straight away. So let's do the first of those two methods. I want to find 30% of 2575. So here's my little grid. I want 30%, I'm going to call that A. I've got 100%, which is my 2575. A then is equal to, multiply the diagonals, 30 by 2575, divided by 100, and that gives me an answer of 7.725. But that's not my final result because I want to take that away. So my final amount is after the reduction is going to be 2575 minus 7725, which is 18.025. But this is money, and money does not go to 3 decimal places, so that equals £18 and 3 pennies, 3 pence. We would round the 5, would round up the 2 to make it to 1803. So that method works quite nicely, and you're welcome to do that. Remembering if it's a reduction, you are taking the amount away. Let's look at it with a different method, going straight to the percentage. If we start with 100% and we are subtracting 30%, then that means we must have 70% at the end of what we started with. So I just want to find 70% of 2575. Now I could do it with a proportionality grid as I've done before in the previous question, but I'm going to show you the decimal multiplier way of doing it. It's up to you how you do the question. So what we have here is I want to find 70% of 2575. So that is equal to 70, which is a percentage, so over 100, multiplied by 2575. If I do that, it takes me straight to the answer of 18.025, and I must round it again because it's money. So my final answer will be £18 and 3 pence. You can see it's obviously a quicker method, but I still have to show every step to show exactly why I'm doing 70 over 100, because it's 70% of something, show that it's multiplying, show the answer, show it's rounded. Either method is good. Again, try both of these methods on any of the questions. Try and explore different ways of doing questions and checking you're getting the same answer. This question is a test of really whether you can interpret a worded question and identify the 100% in the question. So looking at it here, it says that a bowl of fruit contains 32 pieces of fruit, including 8 apples. So 8 of the 32 are apples. What percentage of the fruit are apples? So the 100%, that's going to be my pieces of fruit. So this over here is my 100%. And I want to find what percentage my apples are. I'm going to call that a percentage here. And I don't know what that is. So as long as I can identify the 100%, I should be good to go. I'm going to do this with the proportionality table. I like these because they're quite clear in terms of what you are lining up. 100%. 100% is my 32 pieces of fruit. There are 8 apples. So A is my percentage I'm trying to find. Notice with this, the 100% and the 32 line up. The percentages are lined up as well. And then the 8 lines up with the A. Now A is equal to the 2 diagonals I have divided by the other one. So A is equal to 8 multiplied by 100 divided by 32. And if you put that into a calculator, you will get the answer of 25%.